Hey there, extraordinary treasures. We've covered the expense folders and the deposit folders. There are a few other folders that I want to show you. In the very front of your box or drawer, put one more hanging file in front of all your monthly expense and deposit folders, and it will have two folders in it, labeled like this. Next board meeting is the first one. All through the month, whenever I had a note to myself, a reimbursement check to deliver, the monthly reports for the next meeting, anything that I needed to remember to take to the next board meeting, I would drop it in that folder. Then when the meeting arrived, I'd just pull the folder and take it with me. And that made sure I wasn't forgetting something at the last minute. I used that folder to bring home papers like the board minutes from the previous meeting, check requests, or receipts that people gave me at the meeting, so I didn't lose them. The to-do folder was used for something like when mail came and I had a bill that I wasn't ready to pay yet, maybe I didn't have time to pay it, or a note to myself, something I needed to remember to do. I would drop it in the to-do folder where it was still there, ready when I was ready to do it. Making a habit of using these two folders consistently will save you time and frustration. Next, just behind the deposit and expense folder section, I have another hanging file with three folders in it, labeled like this: board minutes, bank statements, and monthly reports. The board minutes, the current year board minutes in this folder, the treasurer should have copies of the minutes for every board meeting for the year. They should be translated into English and filed in date order. Bank statements. Place all bank statements for the year in month order in this folder. If you have savings or SURF statements, put their statements in order in the back of the same folder. NSF notices from the bank should be stapled to the bank statement where they are deducted. Monthly reports. Once you've closed the month, copies of the Jewel monthly reports that print out should be provided to the board members. After the board meeting, file one set away in this folder in case of questions later. Now some tips I've learned. If your office is the kitchen table and you don't have a dedicated place for all of your supplies, it's helpful to add another hanging file at the back and put things like envelopes and stamps. Another hanging file could contain check request forms and count sheets. I also put a colorful folder at the church stocked with check request forms in the church office or somewhere where members could always find it, so they could go get one whenever they needed one. You can also fill a zippered bank bag with everything you'll need to do when you sit down. If you go to your kitchen table, you don't want to have to jump up and go find the right color pen or the tape, and this way you have everything right there where you need it. You've got pens, markers, rubber bands, scissors. If you get a little stapler, it can fit in there too. Post-it notes, staple puller, all kinds of things can go in your zipper bag. And when you're done with it, you can just drop it in a hanging folder right in the back of your file box. And so it's right there when you need it. Then there's an array of documents that don't really fit anywhere else, such as insurance policy papers, rental agreements. I just had a file folder in the back of the box that said miscellaneous papers or keep on it. And at the end of the year, I sorted through it to see if it was still important. If it was, I left it in the box through the next year. You may really like your filing system and want to keep it. That's okay. But here's a list of recommendations we have, no matter what your system. These simple practices will save you hours of time when you're sorting through old records to find what to keep and what you can shred. And they will save you time when the auditor comes. Since this is what we will ask you to do to be ready for an audit, you may as well file them this way through the year and save yourself the time of sorting them out. All board minutes for each year should be filed together in a folder in date order, not mixed up with the other documents in various months. All bank statements for each year should be filed together in a folder in date order, not mixed up with other documents in various months. All Jewel financial summaries should be filed together in a folder in date order, not mixed up with other documents in various months. All 1099s for each year should be filed together in one folder, not randomly scattered through other documents, and kept in a locked place. All W-9s for all years should be well labeled and kept together in one folder permanently in the locked space where your other previous year records are stored. Tithe envelope storage has a lot of variables, and we will cover them in the next video.